The Life of Chuck was written and directed by Mike Flanagan and is an adaptation of a Stephen King short story which chronicles the life of Charles Krantz. The picture is told in reverse chronology, where the end of the story is at the beginning and the beginning is at the end. The first act shows the world beginning to fall apart literally. California is falling off the map, the internet has stopped working, and everyone is uneasy and scared, but seem to be succumbing to the idea that maybe the world is ending. We follow a teacher in this act named Marty who is trying to live life as normally as he can. He bonds with his ex-wife, a medical practitioner, over what she thinks is the end of the world. Throughout this whole ordeal, everyone is seeing billboards, signs, and ads thanking someone named Chuck for 39 years. Nobody knows who he is. I don't think Mike Flanagan is capable of making a bad piece of art. He is one of our best living directors, in my opinion. This film is a departure from his norms, but it pays off thanks to strong performances and a powerful message about life. This film succeeded where Here failed. Even though we have two masters of horror helming this project, there is no horror to be found. What we have here is a story that wants you to examine how fragile life is and that you should live in the moment and don't take for granted the things you had or accomplished in your life. There isn't full deep insight in this story. It's surface level psychology, but it's also sweet in its delivery that left me smiling as I walked out of the theater. The second act features Tom Hiddleston as Chuck performing one of the best choreographed dances I've seen in a movie in a number of years. While I was watching this, I thought this was the weakest part of the picture, but after sitting on it, it may now be one of my favorites because it comes out of nowhere and embodies the very meaning this story is trying to present to you. To just say, screw it, we only live once, why not stop what we're doing for just a few moments and just enjoy life? What a brilliant sequence. The final act is the longest one, but has some faces I was so happy to see, such as Sara and Heather Lagenkamp. Seeing Ferris Bueller's Girlfriend and Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street as aging women made me feel both sublime and a little sad, but in an appreciate life kind of way. The true heart and soul of this section is the relationship between young Chuck and his grandfather, amazingly played by Mark Hamill. Chuck is all about embracing his adventurous side with dancing, but his grandfather is a realist who says the only truth in the universe is math. This is great foreshadowing for why Chuck is the way he is when he is older. It's a sweet but understated relationship. The Life of Chuck is a drifting kind of film, and as I showed in my reviews of movies such as The Last Showgirl and The Dead Thing, they are stories I latch onto and don't want to let go of. There are only about 3 things that didn't work for me in this film. One is there is a bit too much narration. I think if the film would have trusted the power of its story enough for us to read our characters' thoughts after being fully absorbed in them, could have allowed more impact with the message King and Flanagan are going for. There is also a part at the end of the first section where we see Chuck's face in every window as far as the eye can see. I'm sure I will catch the meaning on this on a second watch, but on an initial viewing, it comes up as weird and a little too mosaic for my liking. Third involves spoilers, so let's just say that there are a couple of characters that appear late in the film that were also in the opening act, yet they seem to have not aged a day. I'm sure there's a message in there that I missed, so naturally this is a film that I need to watch again to get all of its points. There's a great conversation in the opening moments where the teacher is having parent-teacher conferences, and one of them is talking about Pornhub no longer working, and that got a big laugh out of me and the people in my screening. I think that anyone who is feeling down right now would be smart to check out The Life of Chuck. It has a sweet message to enjoy what life you have, no matter how bad it may seem. And sometimes even people who couldn't work out as a unit are still the people we want to turn to during our darkest hours. Even during our end times, none of us are alone. Even when we are divided, we are all in this together. I give Life of Chuck 3.5 stars out of 4. This is such a sweet movie, and most people forget that while Stephen King is the master of horror, he also wrote The Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me, and this is in the vein of those stories. A sweet film that deserves everyone's attendance. So what's your favorite Stephen King story? Or your favorite Mike Flanagan project? Please let me know in the comments. Anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.